One wonders how much each of them was holding back in sparring. The schedule for 10 rounds. There's the McAuley left hook, which missed the first time. And Dave McAuley, a much more confident fighter now than he was before he met Fidel Bassa. A gallant effort, everyone in Belfast will remember. The fight against Bassa was stopped in the Colombians' favour in the 13th round. McAuley was exhausted. Nice from McAuley. Took Roy Thompson some 40 hours to get to Belfast. He had one or two problems with planes. Fine, brisk start to this contest. Somewhere along the line, Thompson's shorts have lost the first 4 letters of his surname. T-H-O-N-M seem to have vanished. Very brisk first round indeed. Eddie Shaw and Barney Eastwood, and in between them Dave Bourne McAuley, the 26-year-old from Larne in County Antrim, who almost caused one of the upsets of the year in the King's Hall in Belfast in April, when he came within one punch of beating Fidel Bassa from Colombia for the WBA World Flyweight title. Good start to the round by McAuley. Roy Thompson on the retreat, and McAuley looking very purposeful, moving in and moving out. Roy Thompson, little Roy Thompson from Panama, all full of bounce and vigor and verve. And there's a very familiar chant. And it seemed to have inspired Roy Thompson. Well, he really is a little bundle of mischief, isn't he? And Dave McAuley once again dropping the right hand and getting caught. And again, yes, that time McAuley really was caught. He certainly can take a good shot, as we've seen in the past. His right cheek now looking bruised. No one wonders how, after all those rounds of sparring between the two, that Thompson has fared in terms of accumulating knowledge about McAuley. He was there to assist McAuley in his campaign against Fidel Bassa, and try to simulate the Colombian style. So he knows probably more about Dave McAuley than McAuley does about him. A great deal of sting behind McAuley's punching at that stage, and again he's just dropping the right hand, and Thompson's left is catching him. Well, the crowd getting behind McAuley. Good right by McAuley. Well, Thompson grins. What a performer. Well, this is generating almost as much excitement here in the Ulster Hall as McAuley's contest with Bassett did in the King's Hall in April. Good strong finish. Well, how cheeky can you possibly get? Little Roy Thompson grins at Dave McAuley, and he looks as if he is thoroughly enjoying himself. The man in front of him, a former world-rated featherweight, fellow Panamanian Bernardo Checa, and Roy Thompson, great friends with Dave McAuley, and he's giving McAuley plenty of everything. Good round from McAuley, some good punching from him, but Thompson covering up well. Four gone, 6 to go. Scheduled 10-rounder. Dave McAuley, the British flyweight champion. It's a title that one or two people have maybe even forgotten that he possesses, because immediately after defeating Scotland's Joe Kelly in Glasgow in October of 1986, McAuley then went straight to a world title fight against Fidel Bassa. Thompson wobbling a little, some of it was put on. But the little grin that was on Thompson's face earlier wasn't there. Again, McAuley getting caught occasionally. But he's piling the shots in, McAuley. Good left and right from McAuley, but Thompson takes them, comes off the ropes, and gives one or two back himself. McAuley glances at his corner for instruction. He's finding Roy Thompson an awful lot harder to put away than he did when he was sparring. He put Thompson down a couple of times with body shots 7 months ago. To go in the fifth. Well, Thompson can take them, and he can certainly dish them out as well. Not even a flicker of emotion on Thompson's face, and he allows himself the luxury of a little dance. McAuley did get him with that right. Again, the right by McAuley. Well, Thompson really putting on a bit of an exhibition, but he's under considerable pressure, and the bell is just going to save him this round. What a good round by Dave McAuley. He's trained, he says, just as hard for this one as he did for the World Title Challenge against Fidel Bassa last April. In that round, McAuley really started to force the pace. Left and then a right, and Thompson had the little grin just momentarily wiped from his face. Plenty of bounce left, it seems, in the legs of Panama's Roy Thompson. The British flyweight champion Dave McAuley has caught him with one or two good shots, but has not been able to stop the visitor. Yeah, again, McAuley looking very good, nice and stylish, but Thompson covering well. There's quite a noticeable bang of heads. Thompson, just like a little rubber ball, keeps bouncing back up on his toes. He has been right from the very first bell. Thompson really has made very light of an arduous plane journey of something in the region of 40-odd hours. A slap from McAuley. That was a good right. But the effects of Roy Thompson really are minimal. How different life might well have been for Dave McAuley had he found an extra punch in the 9th round of his fight against Fidel Bassa. That wasn't a bad left. And the 8th against Roy Thompson. Bassa gone down once more in the 9th. Dave McAuley would now be flyweight champion of the world. And the little man who helped him achieve such heights against Bassa has given him a really tough contest in the Ulster Hall here in Belfast. Good strong finish from McAuley. Best left of the evening from Dave McAuley. And Thompson looks very vulnerable. For the first time, Dave McAuley looked as if he might have been about to finish this contest. And Dave McAuley, a little bit of a nick around his left eye. He was very, very badly cut against Fidel Bassa. There certainly has been a lot of head bumping, but that was the left hand that caught Thompson. And Thompson desperately hanging on as McAuley tried to finish it in the 8th round. What a character, Roy Thompson. What a contest he's given Dave McAuley. As good a flyweight contest that one could wish to see. Thompson still bouncing and moving, inviting McAuley to come to him. But he he'll do well to last. The final 5 minutes of this 10-rounder. Thompson now gives the impression that he'll be quite happy to go the distance with McAuley. One good solid punch could decide this for Dave McAuley. Solid right from McAuley once again. And the left. And the left again. Thompson wobbles. Barney Wilson is having a very close look at him. He won't let him take too many more shots like that to the head, quite rightly. So McAuley left hook. McAuley trying everything, right and left. Like 20 seconds to go in the 9th. And McAuley trying to get this all over with. Again, Thompson just pulling out the odd one that makes contact. So still plenty of fight in the Panamanian. Well, he really has battled away all evening. Not too much evidence of a little grin that we've seen in between previous rounds, but he did come under considerable pressure from Dave McAuley. Very clever head work by Roy Thompson, just moving his head out of the way of Dave McAuley's punches. Well, the former sparring partners touch gloves and have a grin at each other and get down to the serious business of the last 3 minutes of this round. McAuley, by my reckoning, has got this well won on points. He's really had as tough a comeback fight as he could have wished for. And it's perhaps been difficult for him to go in against a man who probably knows just as much about him as he does about himself. And I have a feeling we're going to see a cracking final 2.5 minutes. Eddie Shaw and Barney Eastwood urging McAuley to come forward at the end of the jab. Thumping body punches going in from McAuley. Little Roy Thompson has taken everything that's been slung at him and occasionally has come back. Again, McAuley glances towards his corner, but it's entirely up to him. Just about 1.5 minutes or so to go, and it's been non-stop. Great value for money. It was a little bit low from Thompson. McAuley just ignored it. Thompson really a little ringmaster because he's moved quite beautifully, and McAuley hasn't been able to land anything really worthwhile. Thompson looked at the end of the 8th and at the end of the 9th as if he might go. He's got a minute to go now. McAuley will be very keen to put his man away, but little Roy Thompson has put up a terrific display. Seconds to go. Dave McAuley heading for a 13th victory in 16 professional contests, and he really has earned this one in terms of points. Thompson's going to be happy enough to sit this last 10 seconds out as McAuley puts everything into the end of this round and indeed the end of the contest. Well, what a contest it's been. McAuley's hand is raised aloft. A very confident display from Dave McAuley. Well, they're not